up, Dawgs fans? We are here again on another beautiful night here in Athens, Georgia, right in front of Sanford Stadium. It's brisk out here.
It is a nice day.
I'm not sweating like I have been the past couple
No.
shoots, so I'm enjoying this. How you feeling today, Jacob?
Feeling good. Fall's, officially started, I think, last week. The weather's changing. The foliage is changing as we see. The colors are coming in the leaves. And football season is, I won't say officially underway because we started out, but, the vibe, the season of football is definitely.
It's in full
we're
swing.
in full swing. That's
Yep.
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, it's been awesome sitting down, and we haven't been able to watch a whole lot when we're on the
For
field
sure.
because when we're in one of these, just for y'all who don't know, if the kickoff it was noon last
Yep.
week, we were here at 9 and we
yeah.
left at 5.
Yep.
So
True 9 to 5.
Yeah, a true 9 to 5 for real. And but we don't get to watch so much football on those days. But a day like Saturday, we are not going to be in Auburn, unfortunately.
Sad case.
But we will get to watch a lot of football and then sit back on Sunday and watch some more football.
Make some analysis.
Exactly. So I'm really looking forward to that. But let's talk about this Auburn game. Auburn comes into the game at 3-2. They're a very good team. They've lost 2 games this season to 2 top 6 opponents by a combined 13 points.
Yep.
So this Auburn team is no joke. They're not something to play around with. The defense is stout. The defense has
Legit.
been very, very good this year. We'll start on the defensive side because that's where they make their money this year. What are your thoughts on their pass rush versus our offensive line for this game?
So I will say in the beginning of the season, people would have called me an idiot to say I'm not worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after seeing these last couple games where the O-line has kind of quieted a lot of the doubts that, we had earlier in the season,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say I don't think Auburn's defensive line and front seven as a whole will be a threat, but I do feel like our guys are ready for the task. And, guys like Bo Hughley have stepped in on the O-line, Juan Gaston coming back from injury, Dontrell Glover, 2 freshman O-linemen. They've been playing great all season. And then a guy who doesn't get a lot of shine, another part of the Bobo family, Drew Bobo has been very solid all season. The center of everybody on the O-line kind of, gets the least amount of notoriety or credit, but he's been holding it down. He's been consistent every game, even when the O-line was getting, harsh critiques. He was one of the few bright spots on that O-line. So I'm not that worried of our guys versus this Auburn D-line.
Yeah, I saw a lot of comments about the Donnie and Juani combo that I really liked. I mean, that is going to be the combination for the next 3 years, more than likely. And as hard as it is to sit as a Georgia fan and say, like, we're starting 2 freshmen on the offensive line, like, that's a tough pill to swallow, especially playing SEC ball. It does give me a ton of hope by the time they're juniors that the right side of that line is going to be just absolutely locked down. Just hand the ball off and let them run right every single time with Chauncey or with Dwight because they're still, or with Nate because they're all so young. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think, like we said, their defensive line has been very good this year. They have gotten off after the quarterback well. But like you said, our offensive line has done a good job of protecting Gunner these last couple weeks. He hasn't really gone down that much, and he does a good job of having some great pocket awareness, finding his way through the holes, stepping back, stepping up, stepping right, left, making sure he doesn't get hit, which has been really cool to watch, only being 6.5 games into his starting career. So I've really liked that. On the Georgia defense and the Auburn offense has struggled this year. They are bottom 100 in just about every statistical category, which it's kind of surprising because they have such studs on the outside like Cam Coleman and Georgia Tech transfer Eric Singleton. What do you think it's going to take from the Dawgs to keep that stat in the hundreds, to keep those stats as far down as we can and just continue to dominate on the offense or on the defensive side of the ball?
Honestly, I think it's going to take a lot of copy and paste, which is what, a lot of, not even just college football, but football in general is. Watching what other teams did, watch what worked and what didn't, and taking that and putting your own little flair on it. No disrespect to him. He's been a great football player for them this season, but you got to make Jackson Arnold play quarterback. That's what we've seen. He's a solid quarterback, but he can't make every throw. He struggled against the pass rush, which clearly isn't all his fault. There's been a lot of struggle on their O-line, even more than even the Georgia fans would want to see about our O-line. Yeah. As they always say, it can get worse.
It will get worse.
And Auburn's had a huge struggle on their O-line this season, and it's cost them, like you brought up, those close games because their defense as a whole, I think, has only given up about 20 points per game.
If that.
And I think 16, teams. And then in those 2 top 10 matchups you brought up, only 16 points per game total.
Yeah.
So they're a couple blocks away, a couple shots away from being not only a ranked team, but in some cases maybe even a top 15 team.
Yeah, I think because of their record, a lot of fans are overlooking this team.
Oh, yeah, it's very misleading.
I would not overlook this Auburn team, especially in Jordan-Hare. I would not overlook this team in the slightest. I would expect this to be a classic, kind of like we talked about Kentucky last week, like a slug-it-out game. Like
For sure.
I think this is going to be a heavyweight battle. And the biggest thing for us, in my opinion, is going to be establishing the run game on the road. We have to make sure we can keep the ball and extending drives on those 3rd and 4s where we have the RPO and we hand the ball off to Chauncey, making sure he gets there.
Right.
Extending drives on 3rd down and gashing teams, gashing Auburn, running down the clock is going to be key in winning this game, I think. And I think we've got the backs and now the experienced offensive line to truly have confidence in saying we can establish the run game against this team on the road and gash them and beat them down.
Agreed.
One thing I did want to talk about was pass rush for us, for Georgia. Sure. Jackson Arnold has been hit a lot this year. He has been sacked, I think, one of, if not the most in the SEC.
I think he was the most.
Most
in FBS, actually.
Yeah. So seeing that if you're in the Georgia defensive line group, if you're one of those guys, are you smelling blood in the water?
You got to be licking your chops.
Uh-huh.
I mean, not that you ever want to beat down on an already struggling team, but everybody wants their chance to shine. And if you're seeing things like as a receiver, if you're hearing their DBs giving up 10 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, you're like, hey,
that's my guy.
That's my guy.
Yep.
And, it's just the competitive nature of the game. So I know guys like Percy or Christian Miller, Quintavious Johnson, Chris Cole, guys like that got to be licking their chops heading into a game like this. Like, hey man, I might be able to get this quarterback not only once but a few times.
Yeah, I know a lot of Georgia fans have, and myself included, have been. I don't want to use the word disappointed, but I mean it's an appropriate word to use in this instance. I have been disappointed with the pass rush this year. I think we have all the talent in the world. Scheme hasn't changed. It's just not getting home, not finishing plays, and so that's been something that's been very frustrating to watch for me. But this is, we said it last week, but I'll say it again. This is like a get-right game. Like, you're going against an offensive line who has struggled, a quarterback who is almost seeing ghosts. He has seen pass rush every single play, and he's getting beat down to the ground. So this is a game where I think if you're a defensive lineman, you have to make your mark. You have to get on the board. And once we get one, I really think once we get one on the board, they're going to start flying.
That's always how it is. Like, you saw it with turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
It works just like shooting a basketball.
Yep.
You miss, and then you finally get that one to go in, and it's like, okay, now everything starts dropping.
Yep. It's going to be all about confidence for the rest of the season here.
Sure.
And something I wanted to bring up on the defensive side is we had a conversation about this on Bulldog Banter on Sunday night. Go check it out if you haven't already. Who do you think is the leader of this defense? Who is the guy in the locker room that is the true I can say on-field leader and off-field leader. Maybe they're the same person.
Probably Christian Miller or C.J. Allen.
Okay, so I said C.J. Allen, and people in the comments said Percy Miller. So we had kind of a combination.
I think it'd be either one of those two.
Yeah, I think we need leadership right now. I know we have it, obviously, but I think we really need the leadership to step up. Like, if Percy goes in there and gets through the guard in the center and really makes a crazy play against Auburn, that ignites the defense.
Yep.
Or if CJ gets back there, gets an interception, makes a huge TFL on 3rd and 2.
I mean, we saw how dudes swarmed him last week when he had the punch out.
Exactly.
And one thing that fans or people wouldn't know is you hear coaches say, we take an emphasis to work on getting turnovers, and whether it's blocking or whatever part of the game it might be. But I will say Coach Kirby and Coach Schumann are not lying when every day we worked on turnovers and specifically punch outs.
Mm-hmm.
And I know CJ being a leader, being a captain, and he was the guy to use the perfect technique and punch it out. Coach Schumann talked about it in his post-game press conference. Coach Kirby talked about it in his. Even CJ talked about it in his. So watching that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more dudes okay, if it's working, what Coach Kirby and what Coach Schumann been teaching for these last 3 years is working, and a leader did it and had some success with it, all right, I might start taking some swings out at this bowl.
Yeah, 100%. I think wreak havoc is
sure.
Definitely the Georgia motto, and it has been since 2016, since the smart era. It's just be dominant, wreak havoc, fire, passion, energy.
For sure, as it should be.
I saw some people in media say I think he said FPE, and so he's abbreviating it now.
That was what was on the shirt. Yeah, FPE.
FPE, fire, passion, energy. All right, let's talk about some games around
bet.
the country. I am looking forward to this weekend. We've got a ton of good matchups.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this one in the SEC against a familiar foe for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama playing at Missouri, noon game. What are your overall thoughts in this game? I know you've got some thoughts and feelings about their running back, Mr. Hardie.
Yeah, no relation. He's got the Y at the end. I got the IE, but he's a beast. I wish there was some relation. I wish I could get some of the talents he had. But he's a dog. I think you said he's averaging 7 yards per carry.
20 carries a game, 7 yards per carry.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, that's Mizzou has always been known, especially under Eli Drinkowitz, for dominating the run game. They love that stretch scheme, getting D linemen outside of those gaps and then kind of piercing wherever they find a hole.
And Alabama has struggled against the run.
And Alabama has struggled against the run. Even in the game where they beat us, we still kind of ran the ball.
We rushed for like 230.
Yeah, we ran the ball very effectively. So I want to give respect to Ty Simpson. He's been playing surgical all season. They clearly got the receiving corps to go along with him, with Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, and then Ryan Williams, and then Jam Miller coming back. But I don't want to sound like a hater, but something, especially going into Mizzou, because Mizzou's not a big SEC environment, but those fans are passionate.
They're loud.
And that, like, we saw, I think, my freshman year when we went there on the road.
That night game?
Yeah, we got into a scary game with them and barely pulled it.
Was it a Friday night game?
No, it was a Saturday. It was a Saturday for sure.
I remember the night game that we won 26-22, I want to say. Like, it was
something
tight.
Like, yeah, it was a close game, and we had to come back.
We came back down like 14 in the fourth quarter or something like that.
Yeah, so Mizzou, don't sleep on that Mizzou fan base and that atmosphere. They're definitely not, they're going to come in with their energy, especially for a game like Bama. I might take the Tigers in an upset here. I haven't seen Mizzou battle tested. I trust in Damon Wilson. I trust in Darius Smith, 2 former Dogs. I gotta go Tigers. I'm gonna take them in the upset.
I like it. I am not totally opposed to the Tigers winning this game. Like, I'm not. I think there's a real chance they win this game. Currently, ESPN has it at, where is it? ESPN gives them a 37% chance. So I think that's a punching chance, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just what you said. Mizzou runs the ball down people's throats, and Alabama has struggled to stop the run this year. My biggest thing is going to be, can Ty Simpson dissect this defense? Is he going to have time to do so? Like you said, there are some guys on that Missouri defensive line who can make some noise.
Yeah.
Damon Wilson has 3.5 sacks on the season. I'm very curious to see what they do against the Alabama offensive line, because that offensive line is really, really good. They stifled us. Very aggressive. I mean, it literally just looked like he had a U the entire game around him to throw.
Yeah, they create a pocket.
So I'm very curious. I'm going to take Alabama here.
Okay.
I think that I'm going to take the Ty Simpson route. I'm going to take the quarterback here. I think it matters a lot on the road. And I think if he has time, he can pick apart that secondary. If he doesn't have time and Missouri's gashing them, though, like there's a very real chance that Missouri wins this game.
With the run game, it's also going to shrink the game.
Yeah, 100%.
So then the time, time possession, they're just controlling the ball and all that stuff. That's also where Mizzou's been able to catch other teams off guard.
So if Mizzou wins, hypothetically, 6-0, where do you rank them?
And Bama's what right now?
8.
Mizzou's
14.
I think you got to go 8 or higher.
8 or higher, right?
8 or
higher. Has to be 6-0 with a win over a top 10 team.
Yeah, you got to go 8 or higher.
With a win over a top 10 team who has wins over.
Yeah, I don't want to put an exact number on it, but probably anywhere within like the 6 to 8 range.
All right. I have
5 would be
pushing.
5 is pushing it, but anywhere 6 to 8, I'll give them.
I have a very interesting ranking hypothetical when we'll get there in a second.
Okay, for sure.
We'll get there. So, Missouri, Alabama. Yeah. I like splitting. I think it's fun.
For sure.
Let's talk about Oregon, Indiana.
Okay.
This game is at Oregon.
Yeah.
And not where you want to play if you're another team. It's a 3:30 game, luckily for Indiana. They don't have to play in Austin at night. But, I mean, Indiana is absolutely rolling. Probably the hottest offense I think they're the hottest offense in the country, probably. Fernando Mendoza has this team on fire, putting up points left and right. And meanwhile, Oregon on the other side just came off a gritty, grinded-out win against Penn State in double overtime, in a whiteout, in Happy Valley. What are the thoughts on this one? Because I've got a lot of like conflicting opinions. Because I think Indiana's a very, very legitimate team.
I think Indiana's legit. I don't know if they have, I won't say the firepower, but across their entire team.
Yep.
to hold up for all 4 quarters against Oregon.
Okay.
Especially a Dan Lanning defense. They're going to be getting after it. I don't know if Mendoza has seen some of the stuff that Coach Lanning is going to send at him.
Probably not.
I don't want to discredit him. I'm not saying he can't handle it. I'm just saying I haven't seen him. He's got a great coach in Coach Signetti over there, so I know he's going to be preparing him to the best of his ability. But I got to go the Ducks on this one, especially with the way Dante Moore has been playing, DeCorian Moore, that entire Oregon defense. They got the tight end who's, I think right now he's the number 1 tight end on like NFL big boards. I got to go Ducks, and I'd probably say at least by 2 touchdowns.
Wow, that's a big upset.
Yeah.
I mean, not a big upset. That's a big,
I'm going Ducks
big
by
pick.
At least 2.
Currently, the spread is 7.5. So
I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit.
You're taking them to cover. This morning when we talked about this game, I said that I believe Oregon will win this game for the 2 biggest reasons, being Dan Lanning has this team prepping week in and week out like they're an SEC team.
Yeah.
This is a Southern football team playing in the Northwest. Like, this is a very, very tough team to play against, and they're extremely disciplined.
Yes.
Which I always loved Dan Lanning. He's one of my favorite coordinators we've ever had, if not my number 1, besides like Todd Monken. I love Todd Monken for different reasons. But Dan Lanning, in that similar environment, like I love Dan Lanning, and I think he's got this team hungry, and he gives me the vibes that Kirby kind of gives, in the sense that Kirby tells his team nobody believes in them. I feel like Dan is the same way. Like,
he's very honest with the media's, I don't want to say reputation, the media's image perspective on us, and he uses it as fuel for his team.
100%. And I'm going to pick the Ducks as well. I will say TK picked Indiana this morning.
I don't know about that one, TK.
I don't know
about that one. I don't see that.
I would honestly love to see it from a media perspective.
Yeah, it would shake up a lot of people's perspectives, not only on those 2 teams, but I even think, I don't want to say the state of football because that's dramatic, but it definitely how football is played, what we value and stuff like that. It would kind of be like a whoa.
Yeah.
Kind of shake things up a little bit.
Because
those are 2 different mentalities when it comes to football.
I remember seeing this graphic, and this is just me being weird. I remember seeing this graphic about 5 or 6 years ago on Instagram, and it was the bottom 10 college football teams of all time. And Indiana is on that list. Indiana historically is terrible.
Yeah.
So seeing them jump to like maybe the top 3 if they win this game in Oregon, very
Coach Signetti, you got to give him his props. He's flipped around this Indiana program fast, too. I think he's only in about year 3 or 4.
I think this is year 2.
Maybe. I about to say, I thought I was.
Maybe year 3. It's either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But, seeing Miami and Indiana in the top 3 would be a sight for sore. That'd be sick. That'd be very cool for media's sake.
That's true.
Let's talk about the Red River rivalry. River rivalry. We had it. It's tongue twister. It's a tongue twister for sure. Red River rivalry. John Mateer, questionable. Not sure if he's going to play. Texas obviously coming off of the devastating loss to Florida on the road this past week. This is another. This is another one that I'm just like, wow, so many storylines, such an interesting game. I think that if John Mateer doesn't play, that Texas wins this football game. I think that Texas knows, and Sark knows, that this is a must win. If you don't win this game, this season is 100% dead. This season is over. Right now, the season is not over. 2 losses does not disqualify you from the college football playoff. 3 probably does, with a loss to an unranked Florida
and SECs, and you're done in the conference.
100%. So I think if John Mateer doesn't play in this game, I think Texas wins. This is similar to the Georgia Tech game or the Georgia-Florida game, where it doesn't matter what you're ranked. It doesn't matter what your record is. The game is always going to play closer.
For sure.
I think Texas, with no John Mateer for Oklahoma, I think Texas wins this game.
As much as I'd want to agree with you, I can't.
Yeah, that's fair.
That Texas O-line has struggled.
100%.
And I know that has been like a common denominator across a lot of teams, a lot of the brand name teams.
Doesn't help that Oklahoma leads the nation
and
in
then
sacks.
And I was about to say, and then that Brett Venables Oklahoma defense is legit.
Yep.
And we've seen games where Oklahoma hasn't necessarily put up points. The Auburn game, as we saw, that last touchdown really shouldn't even have counted. So that theoretically, they put up 17 points.
Right.
And then we've seen Texas in their game versus Ohio State where their defense still plays lights out. So let's say theoretically, if Mateer isn't playing and they have an easier matchup versus Oklahoma's offense, they've already shown they can limit offenses to low scoring totals and still lose.
Yeah, that's true.
So in my opinion, I hate to say it doesn't matter, and I would love to see Arch Manning go out there and throw for 400 yards and have a breakout game to finally get, this monkey of the media off his back.
Yep.
But from what I've seen in past games, I don't think it's going to make a difference whether Mateer plays. I think that O-line clearly has to make some changes, whether it's, schematically, personnel-wise, physically, mentally, whatever. But I got to go that Brett Venables. That's my pick. It's not even necessarily off Mateer playing Venables. Or not. I'm going Venables defense versus not even Arch Manning versus the Texas offense.
Yeah, I mean, that one there's no I'm not going to argue.
But I agree with you. You can't predict a rivalry game.
Yeah, they're tough to judge, as we saw at about 12:30 a.m. here last year. There's no telling what's going to happen. Let's talk about one more. Let's talk Texas A&M, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And this one we can kind of jump through because I'm pretty sure we're both picking A&M. It's a night game at Kyle Field. We're both picking A&M, but this is more storyline-wise what I want to talk about. Florida is an extremely talented, very, very good football team. This team can beat – I genuinely believe this team could beat any team in the country if they wanted to.
I agree.
Obviously won last week against Texas. Have a win against they have losses to the number one team in my opinion in Miami. Lost to a bunch of good teams. If Florida wins this game, where do you rank them? 3-3 Florida with wins over top 10 Texas, top 5 Texas A&M.
I think you put them in 15 later. 15 plus.
Plus?
Yeah, 15 plus. And
3-3.
I really want to say 20 through 25, but honestly, a top 5.
A top 10 and a top 5 winning back-to-back weeks.
Top 5 against a very well-proven Texas A&M team too. Texas, we all have our doubts about, so that one I could kind of see people being eh. And it was at home for Florida too.
Tough to ignore a night game Kyle Field win.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. And I will say, Dog fans aren't going to like this. I'm not picking Florida, but I'm not as sold on Texas A&M pulling that win out as most people might think.
I'm in a very similar boat. The spread's 8.5.
Yeah, I might go under.
You might take Florida to cover?
I might take. Yeah, I'm not. I think Texas A&M will pull out a win.
Maybe by 3 points.
But yeah, I think it'll be a lot closer. Florida has shown to be very streaky and very, if they catch a hot hand, they can be dangerous, as we've seen not only this past game, but last season.
Yep.
Near the end of the year.
Yep, 100%.
DJ Lagway is getting a lot more comfortable. The big storyline coming with him coming into this season was his lack of practice time because he was dealing with injuries all throughout the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally feels like he's getting his feet under him. The speed of the game is kind of slowing down for him. He's finally getting comfortable. I wouldn't be surprised if the Gators pull out an upset.
I wouldn't hate to see it from a media perspective. I'm going to keep saying that from a Georgia perspective, obviously. I would
it'd be
rather
disgusting.
Not see it, from a media perspective, I'm not totally opposed. I think it'd shake things up, which I like. All right, Jake, let's talk about one more thing before we get out of here. The sun is going down. Unfortunately, we don't have our big screen on to keep us lit. But let's play a game. Let's play contenders and pretenders. I'm going to give you a couple teams, and you tell me if you think they're a legit contender or if they're a legit pretender.
Okay.
All right? So let's
I only think there's about maybe 5 total, so.
Well, we're about to find out who they are.
Okay.
Let's talk about one of your favorite teams.
Okay.
Let's talk about Miami. Is that team a contender or a pretender?
Legit contender.
Okay.
They got dogs on both sides of the ball. Ruben Bain is probably the best defender in all of college football right now. Mario Cristobal has definitely, I'll say this, Georgia's always going to be my number one.
Uh-huh.
But I was raised a Miami fan. I am so happy to see that the U is back. My brother has been talking trash to me every week. Every time they win a game, he played at Miami. So I'm very happy to see the U being back, and they are definitely true contenders this season.
Yeah, I think a pretty common theme with me and believing who are contenders to me is, do you have a veteran quarterback?
Yeah.
Yes.
They do.
You are a contender. Carson Beck, I said it preseason, and I'm going to keep saying it. I still think he's going to win the Heisman. I still think he's going to be a top 10 pick, and I still think they're going to win the ACC. And I got some backlash for that preseason, but everybody's coming back around words.
Now. Yep.
And I'm looking forward to hearing it. Let's talk about Ole Miss. The Ole Miss Rebels. Are they a contender or a pretender?
Pretender.
Okay.
Pretender.
Okay.
I love Chambliss, what he's done at quarterback. I love his story.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with, I think it was a D2 school.
D2 or D3, yeah.
And then he transferred up. I love that story. I love the grind. I love the hustle. Everybody likes Lane Kiffin's moxie. Whether you're a fan of it or not, you at least got to appreciate the atmosphere it brings to college sports.
Yep.
But history kind of repeats itself. We've seen Ole Miss kind of unravel, as seasons, as big games come on. They might surprise a team here and there, but for the most part, everything ends up settling down. I'm not taking them as a serious contender this season.
I'm in a similar boat. Is that the same bag you have?
Nah, similar though.
I'm in a similar boat. I think they're pretenders, not to undercut our opponent in 2 weeks, not to give anybody,
no disrespect, yeah.
Not to give anybody bulletin board, but I don't foresee them winning a national championship.
I think they're a great team. I just don't think they're a national championship team.
I don't foresee Lane Kiffin ever being the head coach of a national team. He doesn't strike me as a national championship coach.
Not in this day and age, no.
I just can't put my finger on it. He just kind of how I feel about Josh Heupel too. Like I just don't think they're like, I don't think they've got that thing.
No, I don't see it either.
So I'm in the same boat. I believe they're pretenders. I'm trying to think of a fun one. LSU.
You know how I feel about LSU.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
I can't, as much as it hurts me to say it, I cannot confidently say that LSU is a contender at this point in the season. There have been questions about Brian Kelly and his, capability to lead a team and all that type of stuff, especially with the fact that they have so many weapons offensively, which is a place where they've struggled a lot. Defensively, they've kind of picked it up, which was one of the main issues they've had the past 2 seasons, and now it's like the offense has regressed when only bringing in a veteran quarterback, a proven running back, and a receiving core that can match up with anybody else's in the country, but we're not seeing any of these weapons utilized or execute, whatever you want to call it, whatever excuse you want to give it. Georgia LSU was my SEC championship prediction heading into the season, but I don't know if I can stand on that hill right now where they stand. I'm going to go pretender.
Yeah, I think mine was Georgia Texas preseason, I want to say, and I don't feel great about that one either right now. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I just don't see it this year.
As much as I want to.
All right, I'll name one more, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you Georgia. Obviously, we both believe Georgia is a real contender. How about I'm going to ask you, how about Texas Tech? Do you, maybe not contender for a national championship, do you think they could win 2 games in the college football playoff?
So get to the Final Four.
So do you think they can make it to the semifinals?
No.
Really?
No. I think they got a great defense. I haven't seen, I'll say this, I got to catch up. I've watched a lot more of their defense. I really haven't watched complete games, so I don't know much about their offense. I know it's always, air raid. I know that's what they're known for. Excuse me. But I hate to keep going back to it. At some point, experience becomes a thing. And in this NIL era where we're kind of seeing, no discredit to them, I hope they continue this path for the next 20 years. But we're kind of seeing teams go in this NIL, pick up a new coach, pick up a few new players, and kind of have, lightning in a bottle real quick. Anything given quickly also will leave quickly, as they say.
That's true.
Money earned fast will also leave you fast. And I'm not going to trust them when it comes down to, experience, players playing in big games, coaches coaching in big games, making decisions in big games, going up against a Kirby Smart, a Dan Lanning, trying to think now,
Ryan
Day, and going up against any of these coaches, with these top teams, these top universities, in a game of that magnitude, and it being your first time, not only in your history, but your school's history. I'm taking tradition. I'm taking experience. I'm taking resume over that anytime. So I'm gonna go. I'm happy they're having a season. Like you said, it's great for media to kind of see a shakeup in college football this season, which I've loved it. But I'm going pretender.
I'm gonna say they can win 2 playoff games. I really think they can. I think they're gonna host one of them.
Yeah.
So I think they could win at home.
Who's the top? I'll give you this. Actually, I'm gonna give you a question before you give me mine.
Okay.
Give me teams 4 through 10.
Right now?
Right now. Teams 4 through 10.
Like actively who's 4
Yeah.
through 10? Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Indiana, Alabama, Texas Tech, UGA.
Which one of those teams do you see Texas Tech beating? And actually, which 2 of those teams do you see Texas?
Indiana. I could see them beating Indiana.
Okay, and then give
but
me the
this
second.
is also going to shake up aggressively because
I mean,
all
yes.
5 of these teams,
play each
A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, play each other. They're going to beat up on each other.
That's fair.
So,
you can even give me 11 and 12 then.
LSU, Tennessee.
Do you see Texas Tech? All right, if you take Indiana, that's the one.
Yeah,
Which one of those teams do you see Texas Tech beating?
I could see them beating A&M.
On a neutral site.
On a neutral site. I could see them beating A&M. I could see them beating Ole Miss. I don't think I'm not super high on Ole Miss.
I gotta catch up on my Texas Tech too.
I would watch a little bit of it and then
I gotta watch.
And then next week we'll come back.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna do it for us again here tonight at Sanford Stadium. It's always a pleasure. It's always beautiful scenery. If you're listening to us on audio, check out the video too. It's
worth it.
It's worth it. Tonight it got a little dark on us. We didn't have our jumbotron on to light us up, but that's okay. We'll be filming earlier next week so that we have some actual sunlight and maybe we catch a sunset behind us instead of just
backdrop.
Yeah. And that way you have to for sure go check out the video on YouTube at the Players Lounge. Go check us out on all of our socials at Georgia CFB, at TPL Georgia, at the Players Lounge. I'm at jack.m.wright.
I'm at Jacob Hardie 23.
And we're gonna be. I don't know what we're gonna do on Sunday or on Saturday. Excuse me. We'll figure it out. We'll have some great content going out. We got some content from current players, former players, quote posts, stat graphics. We'll be talking Auburn game. Maybe we'll have a little halftime something. We'll
figure something out.
We'll figure something out. And we also have coming up a very special guest coming on to be on the Hedges on Sunday. That should be out around Tuesday or Wednesday or so. So we'll keep under wraps who it is, but keep that in the back of your mind and stay tuned for that.
It'll be fun.
It's going to be a very, very fun, cool episode. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your favorite Georgia versus Auburn memory. That's going to be our comment of the day. Comment your favorite Georgia-Auburn memory. And we'll catch y'all next time. Go Dogs.